and welcome to our today class. We're going to study about internal land forming processes, and at the end of this lesson, you as a learner you are expected to define internal land forming processes, explain the processes that result to land forming. Also, you are expected to explain internal inten- tensional forces and lastly, to explain conventional forces. What is internal land forming process? Internal land forming process is the process are the processes operating in the interior of the earth resulting in the formation of natural physical features or landform. Internal landforming is caused by earth movement. An example of these processes include faulting, folding, and faulting. Formation of landform by internal landforming processes is determined by the nature of the earth materials, the type of movement involved, and the intensity and scale of movement involved. Our first objective is to study about crustal earth movement. This is actually the displacement of the earth crustal rocks, and they are brought about by tectonic forces which originates and operate in the interior of the earth. For example, tensional forces which which operate along the horizontal plane moving away from each other. Another one is conventional forces which operate along horizontal plane moving towards each other. And our third one is shear forces which move past each other with an equal strength. Also, you have an additional of gravitational force which attracts things to the center of the earth. We have two types of earth movement. Number one is horizontal or also called lateral or orogenic movement. And our second one is vertical or pyrogenic movement. Horizontal and vertical. Let's start by looking at horizontal earth movement. Horizontal earth movement. These are movements which act along horizontal plane within a crustal crop. They are normally caused by tension and compression and also shear forces. Plus, what are the effects of this horizontal earth movement? They result, or rather they cause strain and stretching of crustal rock due to stretching caused by tensional forces, which cause formation of cracks or fall. Actually, tensional forces act by pulling a rock from opposite side to opposite direction, hence will result to formation of a fall or rather a crack. Also, they cause squeezing and shortening of crustal by compression forces rocks which also cause formation of fall. When these forces, compressional forces, act on a rock, remember they act by pushing a rock towards each other into the same direction. Hence it will result to shortening or rather folding of the rock. Crustal rock to shear by slipping past each other. Shear actually happen past one another. The other one act in the right direction and the other one act in up towards the left, hence past each other. That is shear. Hope it is understood. Let's look at results of horizontal earth movement, or rather the features formed by horizontal earth movement. Number one, we say a result to fall or rather cracks. Our second one will be Rift Valley. And how do tensional forces result to formation of Rift Valley? We will look at that in our next class. Also, it leads to formation of wall mountains. This is actually caused by compressional forces here. Escarpment is a result of tensional force. Remember, in naming the Rift Valley, there is that flat, gentle sloping surface called escarpment. It also leads to development of basin, a tilt block, and a block mountain. Our next subtopic will be vertical earth movement. What are these vertical earth movements? These are movements which occur along the earth radius or towards the earth's surface or towards its center actually. Just like the other one, this also has some effect. For example, this causes subsidizing or rather sinking of the crustal rock. It also leads to uplifting or upwarping of the crustal rocks. And last, that one, it leads to tilting of crustal rocks or shearing in vertical direction due to greater uplift on one side. What are the results of vertical earth movement? It leads to formation of raised cliff, also tilt block is here, rift valley, falls or escarpment, plateau, and lastly it leads to basin. Let's look at causes of earth movement. Earth movement leads causes magma movement within the crustal rock. It also gravitational force. In magma, when these magma are forced to the surface of the earth, they usually tend to create voids and hollows, which eventually causes the upper part of the crustal rock to sink in order to fit the void, hence result the formation of features like basin. Another one is gravitational force. How does gravitational force lead causes earth movement? Gravitational force, remember, pulls things towards the center of the earth. Thus, gravitational force tend to pull things on the surface of the earth towards the center of the earth, hence leading to formation of also, let's say, basin or a depression. Another one is convectional currents in the mantles. Convectional currents usually act in a circular manner, and as it occurs, it usually rotates, leading to adding pressure to the rocks and thus causing rocks to be pushed by these currents, leading to earth movement, and and this is seen in this formation of crack because when the other side is pushed towards the right hand and the other one is pushed towards the left, at the center we will remain with a crack, isn't it? And the last one is isostatic adjustment. This actually act on mountain with glaciers. Our last, not our last, Let's look at magma movement within the earth crust. When magma moves with force pushing crustal rock horizontally or vertically, it leads to earth movement. When magma moves from reservoir and leaves empty spaces onto which the crustal rocks are pulled inwards to occupy, like I said. Our next will be gravitation. Let's say gravitational tend to pull crustal rocks into the center of the earth and you get into empty spaces left after magma escaping from the reservoir. Let's look at our next is convectional currents within the mantles. When convectional currents in magma drag crustal rocks by friction, and remember I said that they actually act in a circular manner. This horizontal movement of currents causes horizontal movement with vertical cause vertical movement. Like I said, the other one moves towards the right hand and the other one is pushed to the left. Hence we remain with a crack in the center. When the rock is pushed, that's actually the earth movement. It has moved from one place to another. Let's look at isostatic adjustment. Rising of continental masses to restore the absolute state of balance between Sahel and Sima. Isostasy is the state of balance between Sahel and Sima layers. It can be disturbed by erosion or continent and melting of continental ice sheet. We have theories explaining the earth movement. Number one is continental drift theory. It was it was first discovered by or it, it was its proponent was Wegener. It explained the origin of the six continents. What does this theory state? It states that the Earth was a single landmass called Pangaea surrounded by huge ocean called Panthalassa, whose floor was a mass of Sima. Then, this Pangaea later broke into two parts called Laurasia, the northern hemisphere, which lay around the equator, and Gondwanaland, southern hemisphere, which lay around South Pole, which were separated by a narrow ocean called Theiss, the present called Mediterranean Sea. Our last part we are going to study is the second theory, which is plate tectonic theory. This theory states that the Earth crust is made of blocks called plates. It results in the formation of these plates. One is the Russian plate, now called Europe, Australian plate, which is called